Hello everybody. First off, I want to say thanks for joining me again today. Second off, I'm using my phone because I believe I left my GoPro in my wife's car. We took it to Omaha to get work done the other day. It's making a noise. Took it down to the BMW dealer in Omaha, Nebraska, and the drive shaft's falling apart. It's making a noise, which I thought it was a U-joint or something, and that's what they said. The drive shaft's falling apart. We're going to get that fixed. They're putting in a new drive shaft, and if you're curious on what it's going to cost, I think it's $2,064 and some change total. Kind of spendy, but have to have the car, so what do you do? Anyhow, I'm going to flip this camera around on this cell phone of mine. I'm going to show you what I got going on with this door. I'm going to try and get it installed onto this cabin. Show you the hardware that I had to purchase and the process I'm going to go through. Hang on. Okay, here's the door, and you can kind of tell where those hinges had been at. These holes are all worn out in this board. They're all wallered out because of the screws. I suppose the wind blowing it and stuff like that. But the good thing about it is there's a board behind it, as you can see, and the screws only went through this first layer and maybe into this one. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole all the way through on each one of those holes. And this is the hardware I bought the other day at the local farm store. It's called Baumgars. Anyhow, those are the bolts I'm going to use. They got a Phillips head on them. These are the fasteners I'm going to use. That's the purpose of drilling the hole. I got to drill the hole so this piece here will fit in the back side, and the screw will go, or the bolt will go through and thread into this. And as you can see, there's little prongs, and that will pull that into that board on the back, and that keeps that from spinning. This will basically be the nut to hold it in place and hold it on. But then on the back side of that bolt's going to be protruding through there. So I'm going to put on these nylon lock nuts. I'm going to put that on there for extra security so the bolts don't work their way out. They got a threaded or a nylon piece right there just past the threads. That'll thread onto that into that bolt and keep that bolt from turning backwards. Anyhow, that's what I'm going to use. I've purchased 8 of each one of them because there's 4 holes in each hinge for the part that goes on the door here, and then the back part of the hinge that's going to be bolted or screwed up here. I'm going to use these long screws. This is something that I have a whole bunch of these I gotten from a friend, so they're free at cost, and they're going to go through there. Of course, these holes are kind of wore out here, but there's this board here, and then there's a stud behind it, so these will be going through and going right into that stud. So just like that, and that stud comes through. The tips might stick out a little bit on that back side, and if they do, I'll just grind them off. If you're curious on what this little mess of bolts, there's 8 of them, and 8 of them. The total cost after getting a military discount was $9.02. So that's the first expense I have of fixing this thing up into a cabin, is that few pieces of hardware there, the few nuts and the bolts and stuff. $9.02 after tax. I did get a military discount, otherwise it'd been just over $10. But anyhow, just thought I'd throw that out there. If you go to different places, and if you've been in the service and they offer military discount, take advantage of it. Save you a little bit of money. Well, I'm going to get these put on, and I'll show you when I get done. Well, there it is. I got the door installed. Looks pretty good. I did have to cut these 2 bolts off. I couldn't put that backup nut on them. I had to cut them off flush because it was going to hit right here. I done that on the top and the bottom hinge. Well, that's it for today, guys. See y'all later, and don't forget I love you. Bye.